That would be nice.
Call to order the New Kent County Board of Supervisors, May 6, 2024 meeting to order. Mr. Hathaway, will you lead us in the invocation and pledge, please?
Yes, please stand. Our Father, with heads bowed and hearts humbled, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to serve you and serve your residents of this great county. Lord, we ask that you continue to guide us Guide our minds with our thinking. Guide our hearts, Lord, so that we may do your will. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Hathaway. Ms. Watkins, will you call the roll?
Mr. Evelyn?
Here.
Mr. Moyer?
Here.
Ms. Pearson?
Here.
Mr. Steers?
Here.
And Ms. Stewart?
Here.
All right. Good evening and welcome everyone tonight to our meeting. Our first item this evening is the consent agenda. Are there any questions, comments, concerns from the board? If there are none, I will entertain a motion.
So, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented and that it be made part of the record.
Thank you, Ms. Stewart. Is there any discussion? If none, Ms. Watkins, will you poll the members, please?
Mr. Moyer?
Aye.
Ms. Pearson?
Aye.
Mr. Steers?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye.
And Mr. Evelyn?
Next, we have a special presentation this evening, Girl Scout Award. Ms. Pearson is going to present this.
Can you hear me? Miss Clara Rosalie Delandro, can I have you come up here? Tonight we are going to present the Girl Scout Gold Award recipient to Miss Clara Rosalie Delandro. Whereas Clara Rosalie Delandro, daughter of Eric and Kimberly Delandro, a member of New Kent Girl Scout Troop number 5318 and a student at New Kent High School, was recognized on March 11th, 2024 by the Girl Scout Commonwealth Council of Virginia for successfully completing all requirements for the Girl Scout Gold Award. And whereas we commend Clara, who has distinguished herself by earning the Gold Award, the highest level of achievement in the Girl Scouts of the USA, which is earned by less than 6% of eligible girls in GSUSA. And whereas friends, family, and the community have supported her on her attainment of the Gold Award and recognized the faithful and steady path she has taken within the Scouting organization. And whereas we further commend Clara, who for her Gold Award project installed 12 machines to provide free feminine hygiene products to the students of New Kent Middle School and New Kent High School. And whereas Scouting has been an integral part of the New Kent County community for many years and a positive influence on our youth, and Girl Scout Troop number 5318 and Clara Rosalie Delandro most particularly embody the spirit of Scouting in America. And whereas Clara is committed to the ideals and creed of the Girl Scouts and has shown dedication in her pursuits in achieving the Gold Award, and she should be considered as an example of one of New Kent's community-minded and goal-oriented young women. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the New Kent County Board of Supervisors on this 6th day of May 2024 does hereby recognize and congratulate Clara Rosalie Delandro, Girl Scout Gold Award recipient, for this significant life achievement. Thanks her for the time and effort spent to better herself in the community, and wishes her well in all her future endeavors. This is so wonderful. Thank you. Would you like to say something? It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Okay. Just thank you so much. Sure. Thank you.
Just like yeah. Thank you, Ms. Pearson. Anybody have any comments? Congratulations, and Kim and your husband, my boys were in Scouts with your husband, and you and your husband have done so much for Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts in New Kent, and from the bottom of my heart, from the board, thank you for all you've done, and, best of luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
She also had a little speech, but I don't think she could talk.
Good. Yeah, you can do it during citizens' comment period if you want to. Oh, speaking of that, next up is the citizens' comment period. Could you bring the sign-up sheet? Thank you. Okay, one person sign up tonight. Just a reminder, I'll call your name and ask you to come to the mic, and you'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and address for the record. And somebody else I know, Ms. Diggs.
I'm Lisa Diggs. I live at 7731 Deer Run Road in New Kent. I'm a member of District 3. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so I thought this would be an appropriate time to introduce myself to the new board members. I am currently serving as a New Kent County representative on the Henrico Area Mental Health and Developmental Services Board, which is a long word, so I'm just going to say Henrico CSB hereafter. I'm serving my 7th year and 3rd and final term due to term limits. It's been a great honor, and I thank you all for allowing me to serve in this capacity. We are so fortunate that we are part of the Henrico Area CSB. As you may or may not know, every locality in Virginia belongs to a CSB, and the Henrico CSB in the state of Virginia is considered the gold standard among their peers, truly. They're not only constantly assessing our communities, New Kent County, Charles City, Henrico, to assess the needs of our constituents and residents. They are developing innovative programs in the state of Virginia and services, and a lot of times for funding, they're going out finding grants and getting grants to obtaining grants to fund these programs and services. And in addition, they're on the front lines of the General Assembly, constantly monitoring proposed legislation for the impact on our communities and our constituents, and advocating with the General Assembly members. They knew I was coming tonight, so they prepared a bag for each of you, which I think Wanda has given to you. And in those bags, a lot of literature I hope that you might review, a lot of lived experience stories in there, and annual reports. But in addition, there's a T-shirt, and there's a pin for Mental Health Awareness Month. And, you are the Board of Supervisors, and we are your leaders of our community, and we look up to you. And so when you wear these items, you do a lot to promote mental health awareness in our community. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Diggs. Anybody? Mr. Steers, you have a comment?
Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys do.
All right, next is the Residency Administrator's Report. Oh, she does?
Oh, good.
That is fine. Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're second fiddle tonight, buddy. Yeah.
Good evening, members of the board and New Kent community. My name is Claire DeLandro. I'm currently a senior at New Kent High School, and I recently became a Gold Award Girl Scout. I'm here this evening to inform you about my Gold Award project. I started my project in August of 2023 with the idea of making menstrual products more available to the students at the community and community members of New Kent High School and New Kent Middle School. I conducted research and spoke to the school board about my project, and they were very enthusiastic about it. I continued my research and work to receive the approval from Girl Scouts. Once I had received the approval, I went ahead with ordering the 12 machines and 1,500 products for both schools. Since the installment, there are a few things I am still working on and awaiting some responses from their company. I'd like to take this moment to say a big thank you for the opportunity to inform you all of my project, and my friends and family for their support as well, and a big thank you to the maintenance staff, as they were a huge help in installing the machines, and I received an outpouring of positive support from teachers and community members and parents through social media and through real life. So thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you again. All right, next is our residency administrator's report.
Good evening, Mr. Hathaway, Mr. Chair, members of the board. My name is Mark Harlow. I'll be giving the report this evening. Hopefully you've had the opportunity to take a look at it and see what we've had going on this past month. I'll just give you a quick overview on what we got on the report. This past month, our crews have been working on pothole repair, grading unpaved roads, repairing low and high shoulders, doing some ditch work, pipe replacement, tree pruning and removal, and some sign repair. We also received 92 work requests, completed 85. We had 5 emergency call-outs this past month. Upcoming next couple of weeks, we're planning on doing our first full mow litter pickup on our primary routes. So May 13th, we're looking to start that out. So you'll see our tractors out and people picking up litter and things of that on our primary routes. We have completed our first cycle of specialty mow in the urban areas, and we do have another cycle coming up in the next couple of weeks probably on that. So other than that, that's about all I have. If you have any questions or comments.
Thank you, Mr. Harlow. Mr. Moyer?
Yeah, just one thing, Mr. Harlow, and thanks for all you guys do. Things have been good out there, I believe, and we'll be looking forward to seeing that grass cut because it is getting a little long now.
Yep.
But yeah, it mentions in here about the studies, the one at 249 and dispatch. Do you have any update on that? On the roundabout study for
Yeah, no, I do not have anything new on that.
Okay. But, you know, when you get back,
If
know,
we
let
do, I'll
Marshall know we're always going to be interested in that every meeting. Okay.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
Yes, I talked to Mr. Wynn a little bit, well, through email about Stage Road, and I promised my citizens that I'm going to mention Stage Road every time.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
anything you can do for Stage Road on this side of 33 would be greatly appreciated.
And I know that Mr. Terry has plans this summer to go out there and do some work on
Good.
it. So.
Mr. Steers?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank Mr. Joe Terry. I've called him a couple times in the last week or so, and I mean, he's gotten to the project, took care of it within 48 hours. Makes a guy like me feel really special. And I just want to thank him for all he does. And I was going to see if you guys had a schedule, a regular schedule of the specialty mowing. I mean, especially because everybody gets tired of me saying this, but Kentland Trail.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you mowed it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's already with all the rain.
The weeds and
I've
everything.
got people calling,
yeah.
people screaming. I had 3 people call me over the weekend. The HOA manager called me today, and just want to see if we can get a better schedule on when that's going to be done.
Okay, I'll check with our contract administrator when I get back, and we'll see where we are with that and let you know.
Okay, I appreciate it. All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Stewart?
Just one thing. Firstly, thank you guys for everything that you continue to do in all the county, but in my district especially. I did email with Mr. Terry a couple weeks ago regarding pruning needs on Diaskin and Good Hope on the overpass of the reservoir. So just want to know if we can get that on the schedule soon, because it is getting kind of obstructive.
Yes, ma'am. We'll take care of it.
So, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for being here.
All
Thank you,
right.
Mr. Harlow.
Thank y'all. Have a good evening.
All right. Next, we have a few presentations. Our first presentation this evening is recognizing May 2024 as Older Americans Month in New Kent County. Presenting would be Mr. Moyer.
Could I have Matt Jones and Danny Green come up?
So, Matt, you are with Senior Connection?
Yes, I'm the Director of Service Coordination.
Okay, and Danny Green is our representative for the county for District 2 for Senior Connection. And so I have this proclamation to read. May 2024, Older Americans Month. Whereas New Kent includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their strength, wisdom, and experience to our community. And whereas communities benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds are welcomed, included, and supported. And whereas New Kent recognizes our need to create a community that provides the services and supports the need of older Americans to thrive and live independently for as long as possible. And whereas New Kent can work to build an even better community for our older residents by planning programs that encourage independence, exploring the many positive aspects of aging, ensuring activities are responsive to individual needs and preferences, increasing access to services that support aging in place. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that on this 6th day of May, 2024, the New Kent County Board of Supervisors does proclaim the month of May as Older Americans Month and urge every resident to recognize the contributions of our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and join efforts to support older Americans' choices about how they can age in their communities. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll give that to you. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Moyer. Next is item 2, consider exemption request of RRMM Architects to section 98-1069 of the New Kent County Ordinance for fire station number 6 apparatus bay doors to face Route 60. Mr. Vaughn, coming out the back.
Good evening. Got a suit just for this. I'm here because I'm here for an exception waiver for the Commerce Corridor District. What's happening is, as you see on the sides, that we're getting ready to build our firehouse. But the regulations say that you can't have your bay doors facing 60. So we need a waiver so they'll be able to face the door 60. It also will help them in their response times. And that's basically why I'm here tonight, to request, and hopefully that you will grant this request.
Thanks, Mr. Vaughn. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I just think the safety of our citizens is paramount, so makes sense.
Well, I was thinking that too, because, I'm getting older. If I have a heart attack, I need all the time I can get. So thank you.
Me too, Mr. Vaughn.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I have no problems whatsoever with okaying the change for the fire station. So if it's okay, if there's anybody else who wants to make a comment, then I would make the motion that we move to approve resolution R-13-24. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Steers. Any other comments? If none, Ms. Watkins, will you poll the members?
Ms. Pearson?
Aye.
Mr. Steers?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye.
Mr. Moyer?
Aye.
And Mr. Evelyn?
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Vaughn. I think you're 1,000% batting. Is this the first time, and how long have you been here coming in front of the board? You're one of the longest employees here, I know.
20 years. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. 1 for 1. Next. Item 3 is New Kent County, Virginia Department of Transportation Economic Development Access Program funding request. Plan Director, Ms. Enneman.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Hathaway. Here before you this evening because we have an opportunity to seek funding from the Virginia Department of Transportation to receive some economic development access funds that will help us to do the planning and the design and engineering that's required to extend our access roads for the New Kent City Center, to really open up that 600 acres of prime economic development land that we know everybody is interested in. So this resolution will authorize us to go ahead and request these funds. We're originally going to ask for $500,000. This will require the county to post a surety in the letter of a letter of credit to cover the amount of these funds in the event that, just to ensure that we do the work as we're required and as we're requesting to be able to do this planning, design, and engineering work. So what will happen is if you pass the resolution this evening, then we will submit the application to VDOT, and they will take it to the Commonwealth Transportation Board. We're targeting their June meeting, where VDOT will make the presentation to the CTB, and then at the July meeting, we would expect that they would take action on our request for that amount of money, and then we'll work with VDOT to execute the project agreement.
Thank you. Does anybody have any comments, questions? All right.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that I move to approve Resolution R-12-24, requesting Virginia Department of Transportation Economic Development Access Program funds for the design of adequate roadway improvements to New Kent City Center.
Thank you, Ms. Pearson. Anybody have any comments? Questions? Ms. Watkins, will you poll the members?
Mr. Steers?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye.
Mr. Moyer?
Aye.
Ms. Pearson?
Aye.
And Mr. Evelyn?
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you, Ms. Inneman. Our last presentation this evening, sewage pump and haul request from Central Virginia Sports Park, LLC. Mr. Hathaway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. You have before you today for your consideration a request from Virginia Sports Park, LLC, the owner of approximately 3.5 acres located on Business Park Road, to be added to the county's pump and haul permit with the health department. Central Virginia Sports Park is working out a lease agreement with Shirley Construction. Shirley Construction is a contractor selected for the I-64 widening project. Shirley Construction would like to lease space from Central Virginia Sports Park for a construction office and laydown yard as well. Because this use is anticipated to last over a year, they are required to either construct a drain field and septic system or do a pump and haul, which would require approval from the Board of Supervisors. So that is the request today, and it is our practice that if it is approved, we will enter into a performance agreement in a form approved by the county attorney. Our performance agreements are pretty standard. It's basically a statement that the landowner will commit to following all state, local, federal requirements to pump and hauls, that all pump and hauls will be at their expense, and that they will keep a log and record of all pump and hauls that they do on the property. And the owner is here today, Mr. David Horsley, if you have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hathaway. Anybody have any questions?
I just have one question, Mr. Hathaway. What's the enforcement mechanism if they don't live up to their end of the pump and haul agreement? Do we have?
We can take them off of our pump and haul permit, and that will be laid out in the agreement as well. And without the pump and haul permit, per the health department regulations and our local development ordinance too, they will no longer be permitted to operate on the property.
Okay, thank you.
It's my understanding, it's going to be kind of a lay-down yard for Shirley for the 64 project is my understanding.
And right now, I believe VDOT's gone, the completion date, completion date is 2027. So this operation will be at least 2 years, 3 years.
It's a good location for it. All right. Any other comments, questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Let's see, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the addition of property identified as tax map parcel 31-18-2A located on Business Park Road to the county's Virginia Health Department sewage pump and haul permit. Further authorize the county administrator to enter into a pump and haul agreement with Central Virginia Sports Park LLC, owner of the reference address, in a format approved by the county attorney.
Thank you, Ms. Stewart. Any other questions for Mr. Hathaway? If none, Ms. Watkins, will you poll the members, please?
Ms. Stewart?
Aye.
Mr. Moyer?
Aye.
Ms. Pearson?
Aye.
Mr. Steers?
Aye.
And Mr. Evelyn?
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you, Mr. Hathaway.
Thank you.
Our public hearings cannot start till 7, so let's go to appointments. Does anybody have any appointments delegated by district?
Mr.
Ms.
Chair,
Pearson?
I'd like to, the District 3 representative for the Clean County Committee has resigned, so I'd like to move to appoint Kathleen McMichael to the, for the District 3 Clean County Committee.
Any other appointments? Ms. Watkins, will you poll the members of the appointments delegated by district?
Mr. Moyer?
Aye.
Ms. Pearson?
Aye.
Mr. Steers?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye.
And Mr. Evelyn?
Right. Next appointment is not delegated by district. Does anybody have any? Are any appointments to regional boards and commissions? All right. Elected officials reports. Mr. Moyer?
I'm probably gonna steal some thunder here, but we have Mother's Day coming up next Sunday. Okay, I got to make sure I said that. I think my mother's watching. So, and also get the date. The senior picnic, as a older American, I need to make sure I mention this. Senior picnic is on the 16th of May, and it is at Pine Fork Park at 12 o'clock. And the other thing is Bridging Communities Signing Day is the 21st of May. And it's supposed to be a very good event.
That is a good event. Ms. Pearson?
I have a couple of dates too. Tomorrow, May 7th, is the dedication for the Patricia A. Page Memorial Highway at 12 noon at the eastbound rest area at exit 214 at noon tomorrow. We'd love it to have all of you come and partake in that. June 1st, we are cleaning up Page Road. The Clean County Committee is adopting Page Road for the Adopt a Highway program, and at 8 o'clock we are going to, the Clean County Committee and anybody that would like to volunteer is going to clean up the road. We have to do that twice in order to get the sign erected, so we want to do one in June and one in the fall so we can get that up. June 15th is the Juneteenth celebration at New Kent High School at noon. June 29th is Relay for Life, which I imagine is going to be another celebration of life for Patricia Page. And June 30th is the New Kent Independence Day celebration at the high school as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pearson. Ms. Steers?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything to report. Thank you.
Ms. Stewart?
Mr. Moyer, I believe my mother's also watching, so thank you for the reminder and hello, Mother. But thank you, Mr. Hathaway, for attending my town hall with Greg Reimer last week. Dr. Nichols, Greg, and Mr. Hathaway and I joined each other at Liberty Baptist Church to give an update to District 5 residents, and I thought it went very well, so I appreciate your help in making it a success. And we plan to do more of those as the season goes on, so if there's anybody watching or anybody here that did not get the opportunity to join us, please feel free to pay attention to social media, my social media, and then the county usually shares the date of when we're going to do our next one. We don't have it planned yet, but we will. There's a school board meeting tonight, so I know Greg is there doing that, and we'll have an update afterwards. There's also a Memorial Day ceremony at the Providence Forge Rec Center on May 27th at 11 a.m. The ceremony's at 12. 11 a.m. is the vendor time. There'll be vendors, food, picnic, so everyone's encouraged to attend and enjoy some fellowship. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that May is Military Appreciation Month. Most people know that this is a month that's near and dear to my heart, so I would just encourage everyone here, everyone that will watch this video, to just take a moment and think about those that have served and that are serving, and just give them a little bit of extra praise and recognition this month. And with that, that's all I have.
Thank you. I just have one thing. I think my fellow board members have taken care of everything that's going on in the county for the next month. But I would like to congratulate Matt Smolnick. He has taken a new position as the county administrator of King George County. Matt has done a phenomenal job for the last 10 years. With economic development and assistant county administrator and planning. So, Matt, really appreciate all you've done for the county. We've changed a lot in the last 10 years as far as that goes, and it has a lot to do with you. And I was lucky enough to be on your interview panel 10 years, a little over 10 years ago, and I'm proud to see you moving up. And on behalf of the board, best of luck to your future endeavors. And we know you'll be back in New Kent. So I know this is your last meeting. Board, regular meet. All right. Staff reports.
I just would like to report that our farmers market is up and running. We had our first farmers market of the season last Saturday. And it was a packed house. A lot of our vendors sold out. So those who plan on attending next weekend, please get there early. But the farmers market, it will be every Saturday until the end of August from 9 a.m. till noon. So we're looking forward to a new season.
Thank you, Mr. Hathaway. Anybody else? Any other business? If not, we'll take a break until 7 o'clock. All right, I'll call the meeting back to order. It's 7 o'clock, so we'll start with our public hearings this evening. We have 3 public hearings. First one tonight, proposed amendments to Appendix A, fees of the New Kent County Code. Public Utilities, Mr. Hathaway.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. At your last meeting, we conducted a public hearing on fee amendment changes, but we did not include public utilities. So therefore, tonight, we are coming before you with proposed fee changes specific to public utilities. These fees, we've discussed this during the budget presentation. I have proposed a 4% fee increase for user fees. Those are incorporated in the advertisement that you see today. And that's water user fees, sewer user fees, and also reclaimed water user fees. We also are proposing an increase in meter installations. And that's solely, we don't make money off of the installation of meters. We only capture our costs to install those. And as all construction costs are going up, so is the cost of installing meters. So therefore, there is a $150 increase for meters the size of 1.5 inches. It goes from $250, $1,400 to $1,650. And for 2-inch meters, the cost goes from $1,650 to $1,750. We're also requesting the addition of a GIS fee of $250. This is as we receive site plans, we take that data on the site plans, and we put that into our GIS system so that we can keep records of all of our lines that are throughout the county, not just location, but also line sizes as well. We keep records of that data. And those are the fee changes that are proposed.
Thank you, Mr. Hathaway. Anybody, board members, have any questions or comments about the fee changes for public utilities? If not, I will open the public hearing. Anyone, could you bring the sign-up sheet? No one has signed up. I will close the public hearing. We cannot take any actions this evening, so does any board members have any comments? Or are we good? All right. Our next public hearing this evening is proposed FY25 New Kent County General Government Budget. Mr. Hathaway.
Thank you. And Mr. Vaughn, if you could turn the screens on. All right. This evening we have the public hearing on the FY25 proposed budget. And really, I just have a few slides to touch on the changes since my presentation on March 11th. The proposed budget totals $112,844,288. It reflects a 2-cent increase in the real estate rate, of which would set the rate at 59 cents. The previous adopted rate was 67 cents. We've just been through a countywide assessment, which equalized that rate to 57 cents. So therefore, the 59 cent proposed rate would be a 2-cent increase. 1 penny on the real estate rate is equivalent to $511,587. Since the March 11th budget presentation, there have been budget adjustments totaling $2,557,935, which has reduced the proposed rate from 64 cents to 59 cents. This slide is a summary of the adjustments we've made since March 11th. And there's been a lot of adjustments. $2.5 million of adjustments have been made, starting with the elimination of an SRO deputy position. We eliminated COLAs for the sheriff's staff who received salary adjustments this current fiscal year, mid-year adjustments. We have reallocated the planning director's salary, where 70% was county funded, 30% was funded through the CVTA. We went back and looked at her workload and decided that it would be appropriate to have 50% funded by the county and 50% funded by CVTA. We've eliminated additional on-call pay for social services staff. We did receive some additional revenues back in March 11th when I presented the budget. The state had not decided on the state budget. Since then, we have, even though the budget isn't adopted yet, but we do have more information on the state budget now, and we believe that we will receive an additional $118,102 from the comp board with the state budget. We have also, I am also proposing salary adjustments for our facilities and grounds manager who manages all of our parks. I've looked at their salary in relation to other salaries in the county that have similar positions, and I feel that it's appropriate for a $5,000 increase for that position. Also, our Chief of Information, our IT Director, I'm proposing a $5,000 increase for that position as well. Other operating adjustments that were made, our Commissioner of Revenue has finalized the assessment process, and through that process, we've assumed that there is an additional $627,184 from the previous numbers that was provided. We also feel that we were a little too conservative on our investment income when looking at our budget. At the time, we were anticipating that the state, that the feds would really begin to cut back on interest rates. We don't believe that that's the case now. We do think there may be some cuts, but it's not going to be as drastic and as soon as we had previously anticipated. So we do believe and feel comfortable with planning another $80,000 in investment revenue into our budget. We are proposing an additional $25,000 from Colonial Downs revenue. Schools, we reduced their budget. I had originally recommended $2 million. We're now down to $1.3 million, which has been adopted by the school board, so I believe that is an acceptable number for them. They've already adopted their school budget. But it's a savings of us of $676,427. Department budgets. You did a great job going line by line through every single department budget, and we found $245,917 of reductions. And also, we've gotten some better numbers of the confinement of prisoners. As you know, when I submitted the budget, we had just got notification from Henrico that our per diem was going to increase significantly. We've since have decided, starting July 1, to transfer all of our prisoners at the Henrico Jail Lease facility to Hanover County, the Pamunkey Regional Jail, and all new inmates will go to that facility too, which creates a savings for us, a savings of $476,640, as opposed to if we had stayed at Henrico, it would have been an additional cost of over $1.2 million. So, and we have some additional revenues coming from Charles City County. We share our CSA coordinator with Charles City, and they contribute to the cost of that office and operations, and their cost is increasing next fiscal year. So that's how we got to the $2.5 million in adjustments, which equates to 5 pennies. And therefore, we were able to reduce the original recommendation of a 7-cent increase to a 2-cent increase. That completes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hathaway. Any questions for Mr. Hathaway? Trying to open up the public hearing. Has anyone signed up? One person signed up. I know you've been here before, so you know the drill. State your name and address for the record, and you'll be given 3 minutes. Mr. Sanders.
Thank you. First of all, appreciate letting me speak today. My name is John Sanders, 4020 Good Hope Road. I had a lot of time to go through your budget this year, and in talking to some of my neighbors that are retired Social Security, they were deeply concerned that their net gain after their 3% pay hike, and then they lost it with the Medicare increases, that their net was zero. Food inflation is affecting these people. Now these tax increases because the house values is affecting them. And as you know, 20% of this county is over 65. So you need to really start thinking of what can we do in the future to reduce the taxes on these people. One of the things that was on one of the line expenditure was the airport. And I see on 23 and 24, we spent $2 million. And it's over $350,000 that we're paying for an airport. I went up there on Sunday at 11:30. There was one plane there. The gentleman that was in there had told me that nobody came out there yesterday and nobody had come out this morning. I looked on the FAA, Williamsburg Airport. Who did I say owned it? Larry Walter. Now, Larry don't get into anything unless he's making money. So you guys need to explain to me why New Kent is not making money off of that airport. I know personally of some friends in Texas where they went into a development that had an airstrip that was sold by the county. It was a multi-million-dollar investment for people that were flight enthusiasts, where they had their homes in a hangar on the airport there. I think you should start looking at, should we sell it? Should we start charging landing fees? But when you have most of the planes, according to this gentleman, don't even belong to the county. It's crazy that you're asking the New Kent taxpayer to pay for that airport. He told me just about all the planes were Henrico or Hanover, not New Kent County. That is just one of the things that I looked at. I think that you may want to look in the future with new development, putting a profile on new development, new houses, to kind of offset some of these costs. We can't keep going to the taxpayer that's been here all their lives, who are living on fixed income, and expecting them to pay for this. I do want to comment that I've told the board, I really appreciate what you've done with Cox. I would look at cost overruns because they are so way behind. Third-party contractors has been a disaster for them. I just think you need to looking at how we can protect the county with that.
Well, thank you, Ms. Saunders. I've got to wrap up. That's 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
You're not going to give me 3 more? Anyway,
no,
thank you. I appreciate everything you do, especially you, Jordan. Just some things that I think you should look at in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No one else signed up, so I'll close the public hearing. Are there any other comments?
Mr. Hathaway, you did say that one of the goals is that the airport becomes self-sufficient, correct?
Yeah, that is a goal of mine. And in order for us to do that, we need more hangar space. That's our revenue. We are working and on constructing new hangars. The FAA has a lot of steps they make you do in order to get funding to do that. And we're nearing the end of that process so that we can construct new hangars.
I know we've looked at closing the airport down before, but with all the FAA grants and everything that the county has given before, it would cost more money to. I know Mr. Steers has been on the Airport Advisory Commission, and with the grants we get every year, I know it's still taxpayer money, it's no question. But
and usually, Mr. Chairman, whatever the airport spends, the county spends, is that they reimburse. They get what. Rodney, help me out. I think 75% is paid by the federal government.
Usually it's 90% from the federal government, 8% from the state.
So really it's only costing 2% right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know, Mr. Steers, you remember us looking at shutting it down that one years ago.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
and I don't, as New Kent County grows, especially right now, I think that airport will become more valuable in the future. As the county grows, you got big corporations moving in here. They have their private jets. They're going to want to fly in here, I would think. So We can certainly look at ways of cutting costs, but I certainly don't want to look into closing the airport.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments? All right, our last public hearing this evening is proposed FY25 New Kent County Public Utilities Budget. Mr. Hathaway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. You have before you the proposed public utilities budget for FY25 totaling $17,302,726. No change from my presentation on March 11th.
Thank you, Mr. Hathaway. I will open the public hearing. Has anyone signed up? No one signed up. Are there any other comments?
I have one business.
Yeah, just for the public, Mr. Hathaway, could you give us the next process of where we go from the budget now, what we'll be doing, the next steps?
Sure. By state code, we cannot take action. I believe it's no sooner than 10 days after a public hearing has been conducted. We have a work session coming up on Tuesday, May 28th, where we'll have an item on the agenda for you to adopt. The budget, county operating budget, the public utilities budget, as well as the fees that have been proposed as well.
Mr. Hathaway, it's May 29th, right?
May 29th.
Yeah, I had to
Okay.
change it.
All
That's
right.
right.
Oh, yes,
That's the only
that's
reason
right.
why I knew.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hathaway.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Moore, you have some business?
Yes, we've been talking up here, and I want to make a motion. I move the board to consider amending the bylaws of the Board of Supervisors of New Kent County, Section 6, subsection A, to state that the board will advertise all public hearings to begin at or after 6:30 p.m. If this motion passes, consideration for this proposed bylaws amendment would be set for a vote at a future meeting at least 30 days from today. Sorry, Josh.
All right. Any comments on it? Ms. Watkins, will you poll the members?
Ms. Pearson?
Aye.
Mr. Steers?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye.
Mr. Moyer?
Aye.
And Mr. Evelyn?
Aye. All right. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Supervisors will be held at 6 p.m. on Monday, June 10th, 2024. And the next work session will be held at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, May 29th, 2024, both in the boardroom of the County Administration Building. If there's no other comments or business, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Pearson. Ms. Watkins, will you poll the members?
Mr. Steers?
Aye.
Ms. Stewart?
Aye.
Mr. Moyer?
Aye.
Ms. Pearson?
Aye.
And Mr. Evelyn?
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
What did we just do? We voted on this, and then in 30 days we'll vote on it again? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Not just one. That we have to change, okay. Oh, yes. I'm sorry I changed that, but 6 would have been a little too